guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a pretty popular video I covered about 2 weeks ago, all about the young guy from Greece who's about to seriously have the last laugh after his fiancée abandoned him for the local chatter Tyrone over in Greece. If you recall, this young guy went over to the States, the USA, for college to, get a better education, help with his English skills and all that. Met this gal during the time of the virus. Rushed things with her, fell for her too quickly, not getting to know her, and proposed. Terrible idea. Anyway, he promised her the great life over in Greece because his family does very well there. Doesn't sound like they're super rich, but they're definitely well off. They own lots of different businesses in the town of the area of Mykonos. And he can definitely provide her with a darn comfortable lifestyle, beautiful scenery, all that. They're all connected, She goes over there, after realizing it's a good deal for her, and immediately gets seduced and swept up by the local chatter Tyrone, who all the locals know, including this guy here, who basically is banging almost all the girls in the town, and also hits on all the tourist girls coming in. He's a good-looking guy, can put on the charm, pretends that he's rich, has a yacht and all that, and it's a total fraud. This guy gets near her, same thing, and she ditches this guy, completely breaks his heart. And it ends with him pretty much realizing, you know what, she's up the creek without a paddle, because sooner or later she's going to realize what happens, who this guy really is, and he ain't going to be around to take care of her. And so many of you guys in the comment section were requesting an update if there was news. Well, to no surprise, we got news. Now, as we get into this, and you guys will enjoy how this goes, I will say this, as you all recall, the guy submitting this story is definitely your classic nice guy who really had his eyes open to reality. He got with an American girl in college. That's one of the last people you should get involved with. Given how things are today. And you're also going to see that this guy still is holding on to some of his nice guy, gentlemanly ways. And that shit's got to stop. And so in the beginning, he'll do a few things that'll just make you want to pull your hair out. But don't worry, our guy, he's learning. And believe me, you're going to have the last laugh at the end of this story. So he says here, hello SSM. Thank you for reading my email, and thank you to the viewers for your comments. I already knew that telling Melissa was not an option, but your comments helped me silence the friends who thought it was my responsibility to warn her because she moved to the country for me. Yeah, remember some of his friends were saying that you should warn her about this guy, and we're all like, no, she abandoned you. You don't owe her anything. You asked why we were friends with Henry. Henry is the local chatter Tyrone. He's awful, but his mother is a kind, lovely woman who is best friends with most of our group's mothers. You can say he was in our friend group solely because he's always there when our families got together. You asked why so many locals kept falling for his crap. From what I've seen and heard from my cousins, local girls kept dating Henry because they all thought they could change him. Do you hear that, guys? It's no different than here in the USA. The pretty girl falls for the damaged bad boy and think they can fix him. And guess what? If they actually fixed him, then they wouldn't be interested in him anymore. They believed that he was a man whore and a liar because he hadn't found the right person. And if he dated them, things would be different because they were special. See? The idiotic mindset. Some locals will still want him, but after everything he's done, being with him is now a symbol of shame and stupidity on the woman's part. There's no way a woman would risk a good husband match or get branded as an easy idiot just for a month or two with Henry. I beg to differ, my friend. I've done 3,000 plus videos in the last 4.5 years of women that have thrown away good marriages, good lives, good relationship for a fling with the local chatter Tyrone. They may not do it on the surface, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these married women where you are from are hooking up with them behind the scenes. You may say, no, not my culture, not my area. I beg to differ. I call it as it is, guys. Now to the update. I have good news and bad news. I talked to my parents and sisters the day I wrote my first email. I told them everything that happened about Henry Roth and how my friends were divided. The talk went better than I expected. It wasn't until my sisters hugged me that everything that happened hit me, and I cried with them. In the end, my father said the family would support me in any way that I needed. Well, let's cut down the waterworks, my friend. You can cry on your own, but don't do it in front of your family and the sisters. But maybe you Greeks are emotional. I don't know. But I'm glad they support you. He said the moment that woman left her family was the moment she freed us any responsibility concerning her. Listen to your father. but it would be wise to let her parents know she's the one who made that change, and I agree. Well, that's the advice of your old man. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything to her family. I wouldn't say anything to her, but okay, it is what it is. The good news is that my friends and I are now in Italy. In Mykonos fashion, the day after I talked to my family, the entire town knew what had happened. Not surprised there. They all knew how the American she-devil hurt my mom's only son, how the wedding was off, and how Melissa was now with Henry. There's an actual betting pool on how long it will last and how fast she'll try to slither her way back to our family. My bet is 1 month for 100 euros. Since that day, everywhere I went, patrons and customers hugged me, offered words of support and encouragement, telling me that I would find a nice girl, that they always knew that she was trouble, and that I could call them if I needed anything. Well, that's very nice. Some family friends also called to arrange dinners and introduced me to their now legal Greek daughters to see if we would get along, but I forbid my mother to accept any of those. The matchmaking has resumed. It was incredible to have an entire town showing me love and support. Regardless, I had just lost my fiancé and all the future plans we had, and being reminded that everywhere I went was exhausting and overwhelming. I can imagine, bro, and I feel bad for you. I mean, your heart was ripped out. But, as I pointed out, the lesson here is don't rush into relationships. Take your time. Don't believe this romantic BS they show you in the movies. It's ridiculous. And you need to really get to know her. And not to mention, she's an American gal in her early 20s, and I believe he said he met her in New York City, so that takes it to a whole new level of scumbag entitlement that she had here and other things. On top of that, I was constantly stressed about eventually seeing Melissa and Henry together, acting like they were on their honeymoon. In a small place like my hometown, running into people you don't want to see is a matter of when, not if. So I asked my friends if they'd be up for a 2-week escape, and here we are now. Bro, living up in Italy. I went to Italy one time. I spent a week in Rome in 2006. I had a great time. I was sick and tired of pasta at the end of that week, but it was great. And also, what the hell? Gelato. That's the first time I had gelato. And over in Rome, I noticed that they'll usually give you 3 tiny little scoops, and you offend the owner of the gelato store if, God forbid, you want all the scoops of the same flavor. They'll want to have vanilla, chocolate, and something else, or whatever the fuck it is. And I remember going in there, my girlfriend at the time, she wanted to have all the same flavor. They looked just insulted that you all wanted the same flavor. Maybe you Italians will you know what I'm talking about here. Before coming to Italy, I decided to make sure I had zero responsibility regarding Melissa. Okay, his nice guy ways are starting to come back. It's not your responsibility for her, dude. I texted her that I loved her and that we should discuss things before throwing away what we had. Smack! She threw away what you had, not you. You should not be texting her. Okay, that's just putting her in a superior position. That we should discuss things before throwing what we had. She asked me to understand that she's with somebody else now and to please let her go. What we had was in the past. Hear that? Just like that. You mean nothing to me. She found a guy who she thought was rich, a yacht, wealth, can give her that life, and she monkey branched over to him, and she threw you away like you were nothing. So you owe her nothing. Stop reaching out to her, dude. You're making a fool of yourself. Shed these nice guy ways. Don't worry, guys. This will end well. I texted that I was the one who asked her father for her hand and promised him I would take care of her. She can't expect me to leave her with another man when I was the one responsible for her. Smack! Bro, she left you anyway. You don't owe her father anything. We texted back and forth for a while. I kept emphasizing how I was responsible for her after promising her family to take care of her. Smack! Maybe this is the ways of your culture, but this is an American girl. You don't owe her shit, okay? Now, if you wanted to, like your father said, let the family know what happened and that you're done and she left you, fair enough. But don't reach out to her. Then she stopped responding. Well, I'd stop responding too. After an hour or more, I got a text from her father. Aha, listen to this. Asking me to please let his daughter be happy. That she's an adult and mature enough to make decisions for herself. She's a woman who knows to follow her heart, and I had no say in that. Okay, now her dad's telling you to leave her the F alone. See? Okay, he now knows you owe her nothing, you owe him nothing. And listen what he said here. Mature enough to make her own decisions. Let's see how that goes. And she's a woman who knows how to follow her heart. She didn't follow her heart, she followed her purse. And who's going to give her the most money and lifestyle here? But let's see where following her heart gets her. And by the way, she has no heart. I texted him back that I understood that she was confused. No, she's not confused, dude. She knows exactly what she's doing. Wake up. But I was the one who got her to Greece after she accepted my marriage proposal, and I was responsible for her. Smack! Did you force her on that plane to come to Greece? No, she made the decision herself. Okay, come on here. That's when he unknowingly freed me from his daughter. He texted, Melissa broke up with you. Your engagement is over, and she's now with another man who loves and cares for her. I know it must be hard for you, but please understand that you're no longer together, and she's no longer your responsibility. If you love her, please let her go so she can be happy. Okay, how much else do you need, dude? Now, I know you're doing this so you can get him to say she's no longer your responsibility, so you no longer have to worry about that, but you didn't need that. I texted him understood and that he's right. I was too hurt to see she's no longer my responsibility, and I promised I wouldn't contact her again. I thanked him for the years he was with, and his wife treated me like family, and I wished them luck. Okay, you could have honestly messaged them separately and told them, like your dad said, I'm letting you know it's over, and she left me for this other guy. Thank you for all your kindness and support, but I'm no longer responsible for her. Done. Said this whole song and dance. Then I texted Melissa, smack! Why are you still fucking reaching out to her, dude? She told you, he told you, I told you. I texted her that how sorry I was for how I reacted, and I just wanted her to be happy. Smack! Now you're apologizing to the girl who cheated on you, that left you for the local chatter in Tyrone? Dude, I'm going to fucking come to Greece and smack the shit out of you. I'm going to hang out at the beach for a couple days, then I'll track you down and smack the shit out of you. Stop fucking reaching out to her. That her father made me realize she was no longer a responsibility. Take care and goodbye. Okay. You got to say that. Your dad told me you're no longer my responsibility. Fine. Okay. If you guys are still here, and I know you're probably inclined to leave, now things will improve. She texted that we could still be friends. Of course. But I refused and told her I was happy she was happy, but this was hard for me. And besides, I promised her father I wouldn't contact her again, and she texted okay and goodbye. And with that, I had texts from her and from her father clearly stating I had no responsibility over her, that it was her decision, and there were no longer any type of relationship. Okay. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. It's over. Now, it's been a couple of days since we arrived in Italy. Getting out of the bubble has helped me feel like I can breathe again and see things in a more positive way. If you're ever heartbroken, come here. The food and the women will make you forget anything, or leave anywhere you can. Getting away is like taking a shower from all the shit you're surrounded with. Helps you see everything from another perspective. Hey, yeah. That's why a lot of people, when they have major changes in their lives, which usually aren't good, they take off for a while. A road trip, a vacation. It's good. I'm glad your bros were good to you. Got you out of there. Now listen to this. During my first few days here, I received many texts from mutual friends. With her newly approved freedom, Melissa was posting everything on social media, from pictures of them on the yacht, them kissing under the ocean, and dozens of selfies of her in the mansion with tags that include our forever home, love of my life, and queen and king. Listen to her. So I would have told all your friends, stop messaging me about her. It's over officially. I don't want to hear about her again. Period. That's what you should have done. Because obviously they have mutual friends back in the States. But listen how she's broadcasting all this on social media. Me and my man, the yacht and everything, showing off. Well, pretty soon reality's going to set in. She's also been uploading TikToks where she talks about manifesting the life she deserves, giving women tips, and talking about an online seminar that she'll do on getting your 1% man. Oh my God. One of those, huh? Some concerned friends sent me screenshots asking if I was okay. Others, mostly women and orbiters, warned me not to meddle in her new relationship. They're telling you not to get involved because she's got her little dream thing going on. Bro, I wouldn't have anything to do with any of these people that have been supporting her anymore. I honestly have nothing to do in any way, shape, or form with her friends or anything like that. Just move on. But Owen, my best friend in the USA and the one who introduced me to your channel, sent me a text that said, "What the fuck is with your blue simp shit bullshit?" I mentioned that I saw the social media post but didn't care. He clarified that he wasn't referring to the post but to a text conversation that Melissa had sent to our American friend group. I opened the old chat that I had forgotten about. The group constantly texted, so I muted it when we arrived to Mykonos. In that chat, some friends criticized her for leaving me for a man she barely knew. She responded by sending them a picture of a shirtless Henry smiling in their kitchen as if that explained everything. Sounds like a typical stupid American woman, a young stupid American Gen Z woman. But not that millennials wouldn't do this either. Not that Gen Xers wouldn't do this either. Some of our friends congratulated her on the upgrade, while others told her off for hurting me that way. This is a group chat you're in that I know you turned off, and these people are supposedly your friends, congratulating her on the upgrade as if you're such a loser and the life you were going to give her was such a bad one. Then she posted our text conversation, in which I told her I loved her, but I understood she was no longer with me or my responsibility. She erased most of her text, so it seemed like I sent her text after text, begging her to love me more randomly, and randomly agreeing that I understood why she left me. That takes her scumbag ways to a whole new level. She then displayed your private conversation with her for all of them to see, making you look even worse than you were. I mean, Jesus Christ. She then texted them that if I was able to understand that it's okay to leave the good man for the right man, why was it difficult for them to accept her happiness? She even dared to say that owning a yacht has shown her how jealous and petty they are. Well, it's possible some of them were jealous of her, but still. That she used to like them, but it was clear they were no longer on her level, and life was too short to spend it on bitter people who expel negative and envious vibes, and with that, she exited the chat. So she is cutting off everybody here, burning all bridges. So I cannot stress enough how you cannot feel bad in any way, shape, or form for someone like this. I couldn't help it. I showed the chat to Alexios and the rest of my friends. We've been laughing for days at her stupidity for burning down the world she'd have to crawl back to. I confess there are moments when I'm ashamed I fell in love with a woman as superficial and stupid as Melissa. Well, you know what? I want to say, how can I put this? You need to really realize where you went wrong. Where you went wrong rushing into things with her, the wrong gal, not getting to know her. How you went wrong with your nice guy ways with the whole texting her thing to get out of responsibility for her. That whole thing was completely unnecessary. Okay? You need to learn from your mistakes, man. You need some work. Because I'm afraid if you're not careful, you're going to make the same mistakes with some local Greek chick. Okay? But what's done is done. You just have to learn from it. That speaks badly of me and the choices I thought were right. It's been a process of trying to keep those thoughts away. Well, again, what's done is done, but you got to learn from it, dude. And I have strong faith that you will. Anyhow, after the chat was read and ridiculed, I explained to Owen, his bro from the USA, I sent those texts to get her father to say that she was no longer my responsibility. I also sent him the link to your video. He almost lost it. His family's a big fan of your channel. Well, shout out to Owen and his family. One of your videos helped his younger brother leave his pregnant ex, so they're grateful. Now the bad news, and the reason I'm writing this email, I lost the bet. You're saying it's bad news because you lost the bet, lost 100 euros, or because we know what that means. This morning I woke up to 17 missed calls and countless texts from Melissa begging me to answer and telling me she misses me and is ready to come back home. Well, looks like your ex found out that what's-his-name isn't exactly who he presented himself to be. 17 missed calls, countless texts, begging to come back. Nope. Nope. She abandoned you. You're no longer responsible for her. Huh, what happened? I texted my mom to see what was happening back home, and my family called me back. And we both put the call on speaker. It turns out that Henry made a mistake by thinking that a friendless woman with nothing to do wouldn't visit him at the dock during working hours. My sister Cora explained that a French couple arrived for their wedding shortly after we left. The couple and their friends rented a catamaran for a joint bachelor-bachelorette party. When they went to the boat charter to make some requests, one of the female guests fell for Henry and asked the boss if he could be one of the employees on the catamaran, and the rest was obvious. Because remember, this guy works on catamarans and yachts and stuff like that. He's a total phony. But he's a very good-looking guy, very charming, knows how to seduce the tourists. And right there, on to the next one. So Henry took the shift, and after the party, he kept meeting with the French woman while Melissa waited for him at his uncle's place or walked alone around the town. On one of those walks, Melissa decided to surprise Henry with lunch. Well, the person getting the surprise is Melissa. And all hell broke loose. No one really knows what happened inside the yacht, but the charter staff heard the screams. One of my sister's friends works there every summer. He told my family that Henry came out carrying Melissa from the waist. She was hysterical, and her hair was a mess. She was shouting profanities at a confused, topless French woman. Catfight. The French woman was furious. Her hair was also a mess, and she had scratches bleeding on her shoulder. Catfight. So Melissa shows up, raising holy hell, gets into a fight, starts beating up this woman. And this is a tourist. Well, time to get the police involved and have Melissa thrown behind bars. The staff had to call the police. Henry's version of damage control was to scream at Melissa that she was insane, that they had a thing a while ago, but she needed to stop obsessing over him. He likes the French woman now. Melissa needed to accept that and move on like he already had. Ha ha ha. And like that, Melissa's done. Local Greek charity Tyrone kicked her to the curb just like that. And now who's back calling our guy here, begging for a second chance? And why is she calling this guy, the guy telling the story here? I'll tell you. Because, not just because she's desperate, because in her mind, he'll take her back. Because he loves her and she's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. But remember, our guy made it clear. They made it clear she's no longer his responsibility. The next day, Melissa went to my family's restaurant and asked to see my cousin Daphne. Daphne worked as the manager there. She and Melissa became good friends and spent a lot of time together when she was my fiancée. I don't know what made her think my family would be happy to see her, but when Melissa saw Daphne, she smiled and tried to hug her. I'm surprised Daphne didn't cold cock her. The reason she's behaving this way is because you're like, oh, everything's great, because you told her, I want you to be happy and crap like that. This is why she's trying this crap. If you had said, F you, I don't want to talk to you ever again, you freaking WHORE, probably less of a chance she'd come bugging your family. Daphne refused and asked her to leave. But Melissa begged her to listen. Daphne got annoyed, took Melissa to the furthest table, and told her she's got 30 minutes. Melissa cried and cried and told Daphne what happened at the docks. She said that she was sure the French bitch only wanted Henry's money. But once he figures that out, he'll come running back to her. And when he does, she'll have the conditions to take him back. Oh my God. Conditions that include their home. So she wanted to stay at Daphne's apartment until Henry realizes his mistake. So here, this is her thinking. She abandons you. You bring her back to your fucking country, to your community, where everybody knows each other. Your family is widespread, has connections everywhere. Everybody has a business, and you're all connected. It's like my big fat Greek wedding type of scenario here. She cheats on you, abandons you, throws you away like garbage, and she expects your family to listen to her, take her back, and let her stay with them. Right? The delusion here. Daphne, being Daphne, laughed and said that if that's the case, the French one will lose it when she finds out that Henry has no money. Melissa was so confused that she stopped crying and asked, what did she mean by that? He has a mansion and a yacht, she says, and goes to expensive restaurants. Then Daphne told her everything. He has a crappy studio apartment. The house he's been staying at is his uncle's, and he lets him stay there as long as he waters the plants and gets any packages that arrive. That he does not own a yacht, he's just one of the cleaning boys. And most of those expensive restaurants belong to my family, our uncle, or family friends. Oh man, I would like to have been there in the Harry Potter invisibility cloak at the table, listening to this conversation and watching her reaction to this. They usually give Henry a family discount whenever he goes, since most are childhood friends of his mother. She explained how most brands he owns are gifts from the women he sleeps with. Then she asked Melissa, how much money did you spend on him? Melissa began to sob by then. Oh, poor baby. Bitch, nobody feels bad for you. Daphne told her she shouldn't feel bad. She also made the same mistake, that our cousin Talia was smarter and stopped paying after the first week. But our cousin Anna lost all her money. Daphne said Melissa was horrified and asked if Henry had been with her and the other cousins. Daphne laughed and told her that it would be faster to write down who hadn't slept with Henry. He's a town souvenir. She told Melissa she was shocked to hear that she left a future husband to be with someone so temporary. Then she insisted she should get tested once she gets back to America. Ha ha! That's when my sister Cora arrived at the table and asked Melissa to show some respect and leave. Melissa started to sob even harder. She begged Cora to forgive her and to please take her to her fiancé's house. You're not her fiancé anymore. Cora was furious. What fiancé? You don't have a fiancé. Melissa cried and begged. She just needed to see me. We just need to talk things through. Revenge. Isn't that wonderful? You thought it would take a month. I'm surprised it took this long. But wonderful. My sister asked her, why would I want to talk to her when there's a line of family, friends, and neighbors introducing me to their daughters? Melissa started to scream, no, no, no. I have to talk to him. Please help me talk to him. I can fix this. Fix what? You know she's going to say, I was seduced. He seduced me. He lied to me. He conned me. This is a good thing because this will make our love stronger, blah, blah, blah. Melissa started to scream, but continued to scream. Cora finally said, fine, you want to talk to him? Take this. Cora took Daphne's pen, wrote a 23 in the napkin, and gave it to Melissa. Melissa asked, what's that? And Cora answered, your turn on that line. She then asked her to leave or she'll call the police, and Melissa left crying. Ha ha ha. It has been hours since I called my family, and my phone keeps vibrating. I've gotten calls from Melissa, from two friends who supported her upgrade, from Daphne, from my sisters, and from Owen. So far, I haven't gotten any calls from her family. I think she's terrified of telling them how badly she screwed up. She is, but eventually she's going to call Daddy. I've been trying to process all this. I knew it would happen, but I expected it would take longer. I didn't, dude. I had a feeling your guy would... Henry Roth, the local Chad, is going to get bored of her. Because there's always tourists coming in. He's in that line of work where he deals with them all the time, and eventually some wealthy tourist may come in. Hey, it's a French woman, you know. I feel prepared and unprepared at the same time. Also, I don't know how much more money Melissa has left. I don't know how long she'll be able to stay in Mykonos. Maybe she'll be gone by the time I get back. Maybe she'll be there. For now, I will enjoy the last days I've left here and try to figure out a plan for each outcome. Thanks again for reading my mail, and I'll write when I have an update. Well, bro, you better write when there's going to be an update, because there will be an update. This ain't over. My best guess is that she is going to stick around until you get back. And she is going to do everything in her power to get through your nice guy blue pill heart to take her back. Because that didn't work out with that scumbag. Now all of a sudden you're going to look like a great option. Because, again, it's not like you aren't well off. Obviously your family does very well. You're not like having yachts and shit like that and mansions, but you obviously do very well, well connected, beautiful scenery. She will be back. And don't you for a motherfucking second even consider even talking to her. You're done. We all heard the fucking text exchange with you and her dad and all that. It is over. Do not in any way, shape, or form for a second listen to her. Block her number. Block anybody else that has supported her and not you and all that. The only people who should be getting through to your phone is your sister, your cousin, telling you the local gossip of what crazy Melissa's doing. That is it. So help me God, I will get on a plane. I bet you 1,000 guys watching this video will join me in a big SS community vacation over to Mykonos, and we'll invade like the Trojans coming back for you guys giving that horse thousands of years ago. And we're going to track you down and line up in a big line, smack you until you learn not to take her back and take her calls. But the odds are she's going to hang around hoping to find you until you come back. And if she does, keep walking. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her tears. I'm concerned about your nice guy ways, because it's going to take time for you to get to shake off your nice guy ways. I'm glad you're a good person, but when it comes to women, you got a lot to learn, my man. A lot to learn. But hopefully, this whole thing is the beginning of your R-pill ways. We can hope, Because believe me, I've seen guys that were the biggest nice guys, pushovers in the world, become changed, born again hard. So there you go, guys. Didn't take long for her to find out about that guy. But guarantee there's going to be more drama down the road. So, brother, keep us posted. And gentlemen, if you want to hear updates about this whole thing, because I guarantee it ain't over, let this guy know in the comment section just like last time. And I'm sure within probably 2 weeks, there'll be more stuff going on. But in the meantime, have fun in Italy. Have a blast. You earned it, and take it one day at a time, bro. Okay, I know it ain't easy being betrayed, having your heart ripped out and all that. And now it's definitely not hard. Definitely hard with her, knowing she's coming back to you, wanting a second chance. She is the devil. She's a piece of garbage. Don't do it. Hang out with your bros. Have a good time. Maybe you might get some Italian ass while you're there. You getting laid will be very helpful at this point. So definitely, if you haven't done so already, bang some Italian chicks. Don't feel bad for them or anything like that. They know what they're doing. Have some gelato, and if you don't want to mix up the flavors in the gelato like I didn't want to do, then don't do that. Even if it offends the local Italian owner of the gelato place. Have a blast. Come back and start fresh. Okay. Do not listen to her. Don't let her get through. And let me know down the road what's going on. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Again, let this guy know what you think. Make sure you warn it. Guys, you got to write in the comment section. Let him know. Don't fucking take her phone calls, texts, any of that stuff. And she shows up at your door crying and begging, holding up something above her head like John Cusack and say anything. For you Gen Zers out there that know what I'm talking about here, don't do it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.